In this video, we go to the Cleveland area, to Cuyahoga Heights, Ohio, to the Cleveland Short Line Bridge, also known as the Marcy Trestle. In my mind, this bridge is a contender for Ohio's best bridge. It soars above the Cuyahoga Valley, above the Cuyahoga River, and the Ohio and Erie Canal. This bridge sees a great volume of rail traffic, being a double-track main. So, combining the majestic scenery with lots of trains, it's a prime location to catch some trains. So let's go to Marcy Trestle. Let's go to the trains. This former New York Central Short Line Bridge does see a lot of action, and I've known it for a long time. Having grown up in Cleveland, this towpath that you can see is one of the more interesting features of the Cleveland Metro Parks, and always loved walking the canal towpath because almost every time, within 15-20 minutes, you'd have a train overhead, and to hear that rumble is amazing. Caught this within minutes of arrival. I didn't have a lot of time on this stop, but I knew that it would be of high value. And this is a neat look. To your left, you see the frozen canal. To the right, the Cuyahoga River, which is not frozen. Well, after we got it sussed out with the wind, that was amazing, because that was I008, hotshot intermodal. And I see it all the time at Home Base Fortville. But now here I am in the city of Cleveland. Well, maybe I'm in Newburgh Heights. But anyway, I'm in the Cleveland area. There's the Marcy Bridge. I got to see our old friend, I008. Ah, what a thing of beauty. Woohoo! Hey. Moving now from I008, one of the highest priority trains on the railroad, to something of a lesser priority with a stinky load. Now, the Cleveland Short Line Railway. It was chartered primarily by the Lakeshore and Michigan Southern Railway, the purpose of which was to bypass the city of Cleveland, connecting Rockport to Collinwood, two major yards. The short line's grade is 0.3%, and the trestle, the Marcy Trestle, helped make it so. And there she rides off towards the west, towards Rockport Yard. And it could have been trash, it could have been soil. I know that sometimes soil gets remediated when it's contaminated and it's taken off site and disposed of elsewhere. Something compacted in there that was not black diamonds, certainly not coal. Alas. Well, in any case, let's go to our third train. It's another hotshot intermodal and comes moving rather rapidly. It is another eastbound intermodal heading towards Collinwood Yard. Cuyahoga Heights. Not to be confused with Cuyahoga Falls, which is referenced in that notable Pretenders song, My City Was Gone. And the drone takes off. Now look carefully at the trailing unit. CSX 3440. There you see it. It is the Spirit of Ravenna with the L&N decal on it. Intermodal tubs, not usually the most interesting thing to look at, but from above, when you can see through them and see the track below, kind of cool. Pretty fine intermodal train and a pretty fine look at the Cleveland skyline. All right, now I'm going to introduce you to my friend DJ Dan. We go back to college radio days together, some 38 years. And we both fly drones now. Hey, hey, hey.
All right, so yeah, we just got a couple of trains. I'm with DJ Dan, who flies drones too. And Dan, I mean, we go back.
Well, probably 1995.
Yeah? No, earlier than that because it wasted all night. So.
Oh yeah, probably 19, because my daughter wasn't even born yet. So probably 89. My daughter was born in 90.
Yeah.
So it's probably 88, 89.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Long time, man.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did we age?
I think we did well. I mean, look at us.
I know.
So yeah, I mean, it's weird where people's interests intersect because we had the radio in common.
Yeah.
And
we listened to like alternative stuff. I
Yeah,
mean, like stuff
yeah.
that wasn't. And that's why I listened to college radio, because I was tired of hearing Give Me 3 Steps 3 times a night, because I worked nights and we listened to the radio.
Yeah.
And I was doing a dial one day, and I got, before Wasted, there was a show called, it was Bob Melcher. I don't know if you knew him. He did a show.
Uh-huh.
And then I just continued to listen. And then one thing, Wainstead called, or was on, and the funniest thing, he was playing Frank Zappa, and I called him up, and I go, "Hey, buddy, Frank Zappa sucks." And he just started laughing. There was no confrontation with Steve Wainstead. He just started laughing, and then instantly fell in love with the guy because, it was like...
And it rolled with it.
Yeah, it was great. And we became friends, and of course you guys were on another level of friendship.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, when he was away, I would fill in.
Yeah.
I've never been so nervous in my life as when I filled in for Wainstead.
It was a big show.
Huge.
This show got actually ratings, didn't it?
Yeah, real ratings. Yeah, those were huge shoes to fill.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you tried to do it like him, then everyone's like, oh, well, that's why we listen to Steve and not you.
Yeah.
And if you try to do your own thing, it's like, oh, where's the stuff I like? So you couldn't win. So you just like throw up your hands, just like Steve rolled with you, telling him Zappa sucks. It's like, hey, Mike, you blow at this. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I do. I'm filling in,
It's like when I first started DJing, I look back and, man, I was terrible.
Oh,
now,
we were all terrible when we started.
know.
With drones.
Yeah.
I mean, think of the first times we went out flying drones. Like, I meant it to go this way and it went that way. And, all that
when it's facing you, the controls are reverse.
Yeah.
You got to remember that always, But yeah, it's fun to do. And isn't Wainstead, his all his shows are archived in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, they
Rock
are.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, the ones he had, yeah.
So in a roundabout way, we're in the Rock Hall of Fame because we were
no doubt.
definitely
We might have a train come. Might have a train come. Might have to break loose. Anyway, but we'll continue to talk for a second. But yeah, his shows are archived there. My shows are archived at the Rock Hall. And so, yeah, I mean, there's you calling, "Hey, Uncle Stan, I think you need a new mattress," or whatever that was, right?
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah. And
I have them all on DVD.
oh no, I remember the one. "Hey, Gilly, buddy, I think your fantasy is to take out my garbage."
Oh yeah, just stupid stuff, but it was funny.
That was the best thing because this was the genius of the show. And I know I'm going on a huge tangent here on a train video, but the genius of it was there was no internet. You couldn't just listen to anything you wanted in your because you had it in your phone or whatever.
No podcasts.
No podcasts. There was none of that. And like you said, if you worked third shift, if you worked, like as a security guard or a baker or a grocery store, you name all the places that are open at night, quietly operating, right? And these guys are bored silly.
Yeah.
And if they put on a classic rock station, like you said, you've heard "Give Me 3 Steps," I don't know how many times, or "Stairway to Heaven," heaven forbid.
Freebird too.
Freebird, all of it.
I know.
Name your classic rock favorite. If you worked third shift, you'd learn to hate it because you heard it too much.
Yeah.
And then Wainstead was a third shift worker himself, so he understood. And he's like, "Yep, we're going to keep it lively here. You may not love it all, but it's going to be different." Oh man, good times. Well, so Dan, glad you could join us. We're not done here, but we're gonna stay at least.
Thanks, DJ Dan, for meeting me in the field and flying drones together. That was fun. Let's see some detail on this trestle. And what I'm zooming in here to show is that much of it has a pretty uniform rust color, but other braces, other shapes do not. They are not quite as rusted. Within the last 20 years, those shapes and structural pieces were replaced. They are new. And as I pan further to the west, it will become more and more apparent that certain large sections of the bridge have been replaced. Not surprising in that the bridge is over 110 years old. And they're not painting it. I mean, it rusts over time, not a lot. Well, there's the only paint that's on it. Man, that's crazy. You wouldn't catch me up there, not for nothing. Anyhow, thought you'd enjoy seeing some of the detail of the bridge and those replaced structural pieces. And what the heck, another peek at the Cleveland skyline. Yeah. All right, now let's go back in time. Same place, looks a lot different. All green and lush. This was in August of 25. And first time I flew the drone at the Marcy Trestle, it just looks so different. But the train action is the same. It's terrific. Oh, it just looks so different seeing all these trees, being that we're in the depths of winter right now, surrounded by ice and snow. This looks really refreshing. But, it's true. It's refreshing to look at a train going roaring over a bridge, especially a huge trestle like this. So let's see another. This one has some run-through power from Canada. Whoa, there's a useful question. The units in the back, are they helping or are they just being towed? Generally speaking, if it's on the rear, it's helping. If it's just being towed, like they'd say dead in tow, then it would usually be directly behind the locomotives that were doing the actual pulling. Now, I don't know for sure. I couldn't tell the difference in sound, and I wasn't close enough to see exhaust. So I don't really know if that rear Canadian Pacific 9804 was engaged in pushing or not. It wasn't a massive train. That would suggest, hey, you need to have a helper on here, and it certainly isn't on a massive grade here, being 0.3%. It's hard to know with certainty, but you can predict with some reliability. Let's say that. Let's put some notes together for you in the event you'd like to visit. Let's first start with a map. Now, this map is from the Cleveland Metro Parks website. I will trust you to be able to find I-77, Interstate 77. That is the interstate in Cleveland closest to this park. These lumps of coal indicate Interstate 77. And the closest off-ramp on 77 is Grant Avenue, marked with these lumps of coal. And then off you go. All right, so we're zoomed in on the map now. I'll show you here where we're to park. And now the lumps of coal indicate the walk taken down the trail. Let us mark the bridge so you can see where that's at, and you can see clearly where it crosses over the canal and over the Cuyahoga River. And this final lump of coal is where I set up to shoot my stuff. And now here's something specifically for drone operators. because we're always conscious, what is a no-fly zone? And there are a lot of no-fly zones in Cleveland. All right, so where I shot from is the Canalway Center. No problem, not part of the national park. The national park, the Cuyahoga Valley National Park, starts to the south. You can see Interstate 480 as a sort of line across the middle of this map. Well, the national park starts at Rockside Road, which is south of 480, which is significantly enough south of Canalway Center. And those of you who ride the Cuyahoga Valley Scenic Railroad are already aware of this because you can board at Rockside Road. So you can fly here, no problem. And Cleveland is tough. Cleveland is a maze of no-fly zones. We do our best to find places where we can fly our drone and catch trains, and this is one that kind of slipped through the matrix. And hallelujah for that, because the shots are great. Well, I hope you enjoyed this look at the Cleveland Shortline Bridge, a.k.a. the Marcy Trestle. It's one of my favorites, and I do love a bridge almost as much as I love a water tower. A pity there was no water tower in the shots here. Well, nonetheless, pretty great place. Hope you get the chance to enjoy it yourself, and I certainly will go back again. Join me next time as I take you to the trains.